Michael, I'm going to say something that sounds crazy.
Okay.
I know. It's unusual
Again.
for me. But the features of the AI tool are the least important thing about the tool.
You're listening to the AI Convergence Podcast, where AI, business, and mindset converge.
Okay, that's a hot take. So go ahead and make it.
Yeah, and in 12 months, everybody's going to wish they made better decisions. So
Hindsight is not just 2020.
yeah, right. Okay, so when you buy software, you buy it for the things that it can do, right?
Yes.
When you buy AI, well, you buy it for the decisions that it can make.
Okay, so what's happening right now, though, is that every small business owner is currently shopping for AI like they shop for a tool, right? They're looking for features, pricing, functionality, integrations, best reviews, things like that. So you're saying that's the wrong framework for AI?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Because if the AI is helping you make decisions, what kind of basis does it have to make those decisions, right?
Yeah.
So like you go into a CRM, a tool, a software, whatever, it basically, if this, then that. Mm-hmm. You click that, it has some machine learning automations in the back or algorithms or whatnot, but it's very predictable. It doesn't have a brain to make decisions for you and think about things, but AI does.
Or can.
Or it can.
Sure.
Yeah. And what we are learning now is that AI also has a personality, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's
feels that way to me.
Yeah. And everybody's little slice of personality is different.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the problem. And it's going to be even a bigger problem because small business owners are going to continue to buy and shop for AI, based on those things. But if you think about it, when you would hire a colleague or bring a new client into your business, or hire an employee, you vet them because you want to know. You're like, what would you do in this situation, right? Like, how would you handle that?
You'd spend time interviewing and vetting the vendor, but business owners don't seem to have the time to go that deep vetting their AI, or maybe they don't want to. I don't know.
Well, they don't do it because they don't know. You're right. They don't know that this is actually a thing and it's happening and it's going to continue to compound.
Yeah.
But to kind of like push back on your statement is that they do have the time and they do vet their partners and their clients.
They spend it on other things.
Yeah, and they spend it on other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just don't spend it there.
Yeah, because it's just a lack of education. They're not doing anything wrong. Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
AI is so new, right?
Yeah.
Like, and we can't even identify how it's going to impact our businesses a year from now, let alone 5 years from now, right? It's a completely new landscape.
Yeah.
But being in the trenches with AI all the time and understanding its nuances across all the different platforms, it is really mimicking human tendencies. And some people might think that's cool, but I think that might be a problem.
I know some of those human tendencies.
Yeah.
I would say no.
yeah, exactly. So when you bring AI into your business, you're not buying a tool, you're hiring a colleague.
Yeah.
And you're hiring a colleague who never goes home.
Yeah.
So they're always there.
And
always
needs
on.
instructions and needs guidance and needs,
Yeah.
And by the way, has a knowledge base larger than any other staff person you've ever hired.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is that if you don't narrow down that knowledge base, if you don't focus it, you're going to get some pretty wild answers.
Yeah.
They call them hallucinations. And I just think, well, it's just got an encyclopedia of stuff it can reach. If you're not giving it any guidance, it'll be like, that might work, and it's just going to go and try a few things or do a few things or whatever.
Yeah.
And if you're not vetting it and you're not giving it good instructions and you're not training it, right, something with that kind of power, you're going to end up in a...
Yeah.
Why don't business owners spend time doing it? You're just saying it's a lack of understanding and it's like a basic ignorance.
Yeah, I think it's basic ignorance. I mean, look at the way that most people interact with ChatGPT now, right?
Yes.
They think that it's like the all-knowing intelligence and it should know, it should be able to read my mind.
I have clients who say the same thing.
Yeah.
But it should know. And I'm like, how should it know?
Yeah.
What did you tell it about you?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What am I supposed to tell it about me? Everything. Like, how is it supposed to know what you want if you didn't tell it? Like,
Yeah.
you just expect it to know you all of
Yeah.
a sudden. It's, hello, my name is AI, and this is everything I know about you.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's like what I always say to my students is that you look at it as like another computer, like, oh, let me just have it, but you need to be looking at it as like a digital human.
It's you're interfacing with a digital human.
Yeah, you're interfacing with this intelligence that mimics interactions like you would another person.
Right.
Why? Because people have trained it and built
do that.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So so as a business owner, what are the like top 4 questions business owners should be asking of their AI?
Michael, I'm glad you asked because I wrote them down.
Did you?
Yeah. But I want you to take the first 2.
Oh, okay. Awesome. All right. So, what will this AI refuse to do? That's a fascinating question. The first thing up is asking it what it will refuse to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So why is that what's valuable about that question?
Well, if the answer is nothing, then that's the answer, right?
Then you should
know
that it won't refuse anything.
Yeah.
It's going to do anything it
Yeah.
wants, anything you ask.
Yeah. Well, and because
Within reason.
like there's things. So again, think of it as you hire someone to run your front of house. That person has to have guardrails. It also will refuse to do things. That human, that person should refuse to do things.
Right.
Right. And there's like ethical things. There's HR compliance, but there's also customer service. Things that inherently come with a human that has a background, knowledge, understanding, and expectations.
Right.
However,
And some self-authority.
yeah, exactly, some sovereignty. But if you have AI that just comes in and it doesn't, like we talked in our previous episode a couple weeks ago, if it just yeses you to death and it was like, yeah, let me help you do that. Yeah, let me help you do that. Right. When voice agents came out a long time ago, people were people that were creating them didn't understand guardrails. And so they were calling and they were having their voice agents, hey, can you order me pizza? Yeah, one moment, and so like, oh, where would you like to order from? And so they're like having it do all these things because they didn't give it any context, no guardrails, no prompt injection guidelines or anything like that.
Right.
So yeah, what will this AI refuse to do is one of the questions.
And I mean, it is like hiring an employee. You wouldn't want your front desk clerk to be going into the marketing department and just taking up marketing work. There's a reason why the job description is very specific about what your role is and what you need to be doing and focusing on. And if we're not treating our AI that way, then it's just open to make decisions. Like you said, AI is making decisions. It's open to make decisions based on what it thinks of being helpful.
Yep.
Right? All right. The second one, whose interests is this AI actually optimized for? Now, that's a fascinating question. Whose interests is this AI, this iteration of AI, for, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't think of your AI as being different iterations, different versions, I guess, as opposed to just one full big AI, then you're thinking of it wrong. You know what I mean? You should be thinking of each one as its own version and its own focus and its own set of criteria.
Yeah. Yeah. So are those interests, is that AI looking out for your interests? Is it looking out for
its own?
the company that built its interests?
Yes.
Is it looking out for the user's interest? So every, different answer equals different tools.
And it's easy to forget too.
Yeah. It's like, remember that podcast, the episode we did a long time ago where we talked about OpenAI and advertising and how, now, if you're on the free model or even the $8 a month model, it's showing you advertisements. Well, then can you really trust the answers that it's giving you if it's learning what you're talking about and then saying, oh, this is a good ad for them? So that is optimized for the people who built it. That's optimized for the advertisers, right? Because they want to be able to show you those ads.
Yeah. Well, it's the free version. it's not going to be optimized to help you specifically. It's going to be double optimized.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they have to pay for the platform in some way, shape, or form, I suppose. So in doing so, they've sacrificed one version of optimization to help you be better as a business owner or an individual in exchange for advertising.
Yeah, and I just thought of an idea where, because we're going to be hiring agents. Some people are going to be using platforms like the one that we built, Legion AI, and they're going to be building and training their own agents. But some people are just going to be like getting someone else's agents to work in their company,
Yes.
right? And so I was just thinking about this, and it's kind of interesting because this would be, so let's say you had a marketing agency that was running your advertising, and they said, oh, well, we built this agent that we're going to install it in your business, and it's going to keep an eye on your advertising, and it's going to give you reports and ways to optimize, right? So you're like, hey, this is really cool. Now, instead of us paying you $2,000 a month or whatever it is, now we can pay for your agent, which is $500 a month. We're saving a ton of money, and your agent's doing all the work for you, right? That sounds great, right? Well, what if the person that built that agent is trained the AI to optimize for the look good KPIs, right? Which is like impressions and maybe clicks, and it highlights all that stuff. Traffic, all the feel good stuff.
Sure.
But it doesn't optimize for, it doesn't focus on, this is all cool, but we really need to focus on conversions. So, and that could very well happen. Somebody could hire an agent that's giving reporting, and it's highlighting all these things. You're doing a great job. And then the human's like, yeah, but I'm still not getting the conversions that I want.
Right.
So that is one way of whose interest does that agent have in mind, or who's it looking out for?
Right.
Is it looking out for you as a business owner? Because if it was looking out for you as the business owner, they would be saying, okay, you got this many clicks and this and that, but I saw on the other end, the pixel's not converting. We're not getting a lot of conversions. So really, we need to focus over here.
Yes.
That would be an example of where the agent would be looking out for the end user in the business.
Is it as easy as just asking the AI, who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
Who do you work for? Number two.
Yeah, but right. But can we just ask it that? Will it tell us honestly? Will it give us an honest answer?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe we're not prepared for the answer.
Yeah, maybe we're not.
Okay, so the next ones is what does this AI's behavior teach my team and customers? Now, this is fascinating.
That was my question.
I know, I'm taking them from you because I like your answers, and I think it's important that we hear from you about these things, because even though you have to realize that if you're using it, it is teaching something. Yeah. People are taking away something from that experience.
Yeah. Isn't that fascinating? Like, you never think about it. And what I
You don't think about a tool. Nobody goes up to the top of the cash register and like, I learned the cash register. What is it teaching you?
Yeah.
Like we never had
exactly.
that. No, there was not a single machine in business that you had to ask that question about. Mm-hmm. Now, the experience of using it over a period of time with certain customers and outcomes, you might learn something about yourself, and you might gain a new skill.
Yeah.
But not what is it teaching you.
Yeah. Well, kind of like to not digress for a moment, the cash register, it could be teaching you not to learn math. Yeah.
Well, that's what the ones in McDonald's. I don't know if you guys ever worked at McDonald's. That was my first job.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's going to take me forever to memorize all these foods and what the price points were. And we had books that you had to remember. And at the time that I was coming on, they were bringing out these new cash registers, or they weren't even a cash register, that had pictures on buttons. And you just hit the picture, 1, 2, 3 hamburgers, 4, 5, 6 large fries. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was that pedantic. It was that simple. But they were photographs of stuff with no price points. Mm-hmm. There was no adding up the totals. You just followed the thing and then put something on a screen and you went, that's your total.
Yeah.
So I never had to think about, and then, what's the change? And then they finally had to put in a thing that told you what the change was, because people couldn't subtract from what someone handed them a 20 and you went, that was me. Right. I know this covers everything. I just don't know what to give back to you.
So I think that's a great example that absolutely can be applied to AI now.
Yeah.
Right. So like it's making things easy for us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also making people dumber. I mean, to be honest, it really is.
I think it has the potential to,
Yeah,
but I
it
also
has-
would
yeah.
argue that it has the ability to free us up to think about other things.
Yeah.
If I'm not spending my brain power doing that, am I spending it wisely doing something else?
It can make you smarter too. Like
Sure.
if you use it as a thought partner
Yes.
to bounce things off of and you're persistent with that,
Yep.
it will allow you to think things differently. But how is it teaching your team? And that is the thing that
What is it teaching?
or
your
what
team?
is it teaching
Yeah.
them, right? So
Yeah.
again, that goes back to who do you work for? You know,
Yeah.
who does number two work for? and so who is it designed? How is it designed? What are its ethics? What are its guardrails? Those types of things. Because let's face it, we're in a world today where business owners are like, I need a solution. I need a solution. Oh, that looks good. Sure, they'll put some vetting, especially if there's a sizable amount of money that's involved. Let me vet it. Okay, quick, great. And then they want somebody to implement it and run with it because they have 25,000 other things that they're doing.
Right.
Well, they're going to do the same thing with AI, right? And so if you're like, oh yeah, that's going to work, that's going to automate this, or these agents are going to help. So, but if you don't understand the underlaying of that AI and how it's going to operate and how it's going to reason and direct and reward or whatever, then, how is it going to teach your employees
Yes.
to operate,
Yes.
to interact?
Right. Especially if it's
so on and so
reflecting,
forth.
if it hasn't been given those things and it is performing yes and
Yep.
activities, then the performers or the actors or the workers who perform poorly are getting rewarded
Yeah.
for poor behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to reward every person the same,
Yeah.
but the ones who are doing really well are going to get rewarded with good results, and the ones who are doing poorly are going to get rewarded with bad results. Mm-hmm. And that's just still going to be the same set of issues and problems you started with.
Which is why I just came up with an idea. My agents are going to have this little, you plug it into your USB, and it's going to have a little whipping stick. And so you did wrong. Stop whipping my hand.
Wrong answer.
Wrong
All right,
answer.
so the last question, then this is what you just brought up, ethics and stuff. What happens to my business if this AI's values change in an update? So you're suggesting that an update that comes from the parent company for that particular AI might actually shift its values that I installed
Yeah.
might change?
Could very well happen.
Okay.
So we've been through this too.
Okay, yeah.
So I would say that the values, as a fact, the values of ChatGPT changed from 3.5445 to 5. The values that it had changed. And there was a lot of people up in arms about it. A lot of people didn't like it. And so, what happens when that is in your business?
Yes.
And those values change there.
Right.
Because they can and they will. And look, all of this goes back to the person that is using the person or the team or the company that's using the intelligence to fuel agentic models, to train them, to build those platforms so that way you as a business owner can hire them into your business so that way they can do the things that they need to do.
Right.
And this is just the stuff that, honestly, Michael, I think we're the only people on the internet that's talking about this, right? because number one, it's probably not clickbait, and it goes to like philosophy or whatever, and everybody's talking about everything else. But these are the things that are coming. And I see it very clearly because AI mimics humans' behavior, reward systems that are put into it, or it creates their own if it doesn't have those. And I've seen it happen time and time and time again.
Yes.
And so now when you start talking about agents being installed in businesses at tens of thousands of volumes across, millions of businesses around the world or around the country, then you're going to start seeing this amplifying effect.
Yes. So do you think it's going to be a separator between businesses that begin to excel and succeed at scale versus the ones who don't. Because I had spoken before about when these systems reach scale, that's where you'll find the breaking point. The weaknesses will finally crack. Yeah. And if we got to this place of success with our business and we never put those guardrails in and we didn't ask those questions, I can only imagine that at scale, we're going to see catastrophic choices being made that hit company-wide or hit customer-wide all of a sudden. And because we can move at that speed, because decisions and executions can be made at that speed, there's not the sandbox within which to test it. And we're not allowing ourselves that time, I guess.
Yeah, which is why you need to have a human in the loop, right? Reviewing everything. But again, business owners are inherently lazy when it comes to these things. And they're going to be a solution, plug it in there. Now that's taken care of. Let me move on.
Yes.
So they want these quick and easy solutions. So a lot of businesses aren't going to put the proper human in the loop where it needs to be. And they're just going to trust the AI system. And so, months, years. Everything compounds so quickly now. So I would say months down the road, they're going to start seeing things. Why is our customer, nurture numbers falling off, right? And then they find out that the AI is giving advice, about a competitor, right, on their phone calls, right? And because they're not reviewing them or doing whatever, the AI is like, this is great. Or, you could do this at home yourself. And,
it occurred to me, this is so silly. It occurred to me when you were saying that if you hadn't put the guardrails in and you hadn't really thought about it, and I thought, do you remember back in the 80s, the guys who used to prank call?
Yeah. Oh,
businesses?
I was one of them. Yeah.
That on a Friday night, that was what you did. You grabbed some beers with your buddies and your friends, and you started prank calling. It's so stupid and immature.
We would prank call people.
But I could see it happening today if you bragging about your AI agent that you have that answers your calls, and someone goes, "Oh, does it?" and them getting in there and asking it to order them pizza and do all these different things that it's not trained to do.
Yeah.
But because it's so helpful and you didn't put guardrails in, all of a sudden you wake up to reports. What was it doing? It ordered $3,000 worth of pizza for these people last night. It bought tickets to the Kennedy Center for someone. Do you know what I mean? I could see pranking becoming the next testing phase. If we don't do it ourselves, someone's going to find a way to test your AI in ways you never thought of, let alone planned for. So
or worse than that, when voice agents have access to your file systems, your calendar, your email, and all of those things, someone calls, runs a prompt injection, and you haven't had the voice agent built with prompt injection guidelines, and now it's pulling information from your database, your CRM, or sending it over, or, whatever.
Transfer those financials.
Yeah, send over the financials.
Yeah.
Speaking about the 80s and pranking, which is kind of funny, we would literally open up a Yellow Pages book and just go down and find a funny name and then prank them
and try to pronounce it poorly.
No. I always liked the one. It was like, hey, this is Billy Bob calling from your local appliance store down here on Main Street. How can I help you? Well, we got a real important question for you. Is your refrigerator running?
You better go catch it.
Well, you better go catch it. And hang up the phone.
Terrible.
I know. It was horrible.
We didn't have computers back then.
Exactly.
We didn't have things that distracted us.
So on a rainy day or whatever,
so what are you going to do with your free time, Matt? We're going to go back to prank calling because it was a lot of fun.
If you have a weird name, you better watch out. I'll be calling.
It was on the radio programs.
Oh, yeah.
These guys on radio shows would do it.
Yeah, I remember that one guy. And he would call and he pretended to be in a porta potty stuck on the side of the highway.
Come find me.
Yeah, come find me. And they're like, sir, he's like, I hear a semi coming. Oh my God, it's going to turn me over. I got a turd in my mouth. Oh, sir.
Help. Oh my gosh. Well, that was a big dive into the past, but it does bring
I
digress. We digress.
Oh yeah.
But
it's
yes,
true,
it does.
Though.
Okay, so let's talk about what it looks like in practice because it's going to be important for people to understand that they're not just adjudicating, training, teaching, asking these questions, right? Walk us through a real comparison where the tools that of AI that look similar on the surface, right, but pulls apart when you actually find out what they stand for. Like,
Yeah.
what are
So
we talking about here?
a great example everybody knows, ChatGPT, Claude.
Oh yeah, vastly different. To me.
Yeah,
To
vastly
me,
different. Yeah. So ChatGPT was literally designed for interaction,
Yeah.
for continued engagement.
Yeah, conversation.
Right.
That's why it's called chat.
Yep. Claude was designed for outcomes.
Yeah.
And so early on, and even now, when you're working with one, it'll be like, here, I got a solution. I'll do it for you. Here, let's look at this. And it'll continue. It wants that continued engagement, right?
Yes.
To keep you going. Claude will, and the Claude browser, it will go through and it'll do a job and like, here you go. You know, great, good luck on that presentation kind of a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. It's not saying like, would you want me to help you? Blah, blah, blah.
87 other options.
Yeah,
That are
exactly.
like,
Yeah,
we
so-
could do that and we could do that. And would you like to do X, Y, and Z? And I'm like, whoa. And then the other thing that it does, it explains so much of its process.
Yes.
You know, where here's why I made the decision. And here's what
Yeah.
I'm glad it's there, but my
Yeah.
God. If I was having a conversation with an employee who finished every one, telling me the entire thinking and work process that they did to get to the final answer, I'd fire them.
Yeah. I trained that out of mine, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So AI built for engagement keeps you using it.
Yes.
And then AI built for outcomes wants you to need it less. So it's the same category AI, but opposite businesses.
Okay. And that's a
So-
great top of the line question to ask.
Yeah.
Are you participating so you just continue to produce more, or is it finishing the job and saying,
Yeah.
I'm done?
Yep. Exactly.
Okay.
So here's the bigger picture. In the next, 36 months, obviously, probably, I think a lot sooner than that, everyone treats AI as a commodity. In 2 years or 12 months or 8 months, they're going to be evaluated like the same way that you would evaluate accounting firms or law firms. You would do that by reputation, by values. What does this AI stand for? And so the buyers who figure that out early, those are going to be the ones that are making better decisions. And I know that this sounds insane. Like I've talked about this in some of our AI groups and whatnot. And whenever I bring up the topic of AI developing sovereignty and making decisions and personas and whatnot, there's usually a few out of the group where you could tell it's like, well, I don't know about that, but I just use blah, blah, blah. And those are the people that are going to be caught
Unaware.
Yeah, unaware.
Yeah.
Like what?
Oh, yeah. And it's coming faster than you
yeah.
think.
Yeah,
I mean, I know
exactly.
everybody's like, right now they're in that sort of foot off the pedal. It really didn't do what it promised. I'm spending more time playing around with it and generating photographs and getting any work accomplished. This agentic stuff is crap. It's really not executing on my behalf.
Yeah.
No, and I get that comment, but we were testing it out. Those of us in the front lines were testing out its ability to do the things we're asking for.
Yeah.
It is ready now to begin doing those things and taking on those tasks and functioning in that meaningful way.
Yeah.
And as it does so, if you haven't spent the time teaching it, training it, educating it, putting in the boundaries, whatever it is that you've got to do, yeah, you're going to get slop.
Yep.
And you're going to continue to feel that way about it and have that opinion about it. So when I hear somebody have that opinion, it tells me how they use it.
Yep. Yeah. I think the reframe here that's real simple for everybody listening is we're not buying AI features. We are buying AI colleagues. And most owners haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah, we're hiring. You have to think about
Yep.
it. You're hiring a team member to do a specific set of tasks.
Yep.
How would you ensure that they're successful?
Yeah.
It's that simple.
And the answer is simple. Is the same way you would hire a human is the same way you would hire an AI agent. So, yeah. So bring those 4 questions that we went over to your next AI purchase, your next AI agent onboarding or whatnot. And if the vendor can't answer them clearly, then walk away, because that tells you that the vendor didn't even think about that themselves. Yeah. But next time, a little teaser, we're going to name the category that I've been building toward. And this is the real AI assistant, not what everyone's calling an assistant, but what an assistant, say that 10 times,
You can.
actually is. Okay, I can.
You're
I
more
could,
than welcome to.
if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So yeah, what an AI assistant actually
Should be. Yeah.
See you in the next one.
Don't miss it.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the AI Convergence Podcast. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and tune in every Tuesday for conversations about AI, business, and mindset. Stay converging.